Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. This is a Peter Like Show, but I want you guys to continue praying for me by leaving a dislike on this video. Your prayers have been very helpful when they were answered this past week, but they were Peter dislike prayers. So please continue to pray for me by leaving a dislike on this video. Let's sing it again. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. Oh, happy Sunday morning. Happy Thanksgiving. So as you guys who have been following, last night I went on a blind date with we'll call her American Evelina because she has the kind of sexuality as of Evelina Falenta, but as an American. So it turned out very well. That's definitely the kind of person that I'm looking for in my life. And a friend of mine from church set up the date. What was really interesting is that, as you guys who have been following me for 2 months know, I started offering a reward for anybody who could set me up on a date. I started the reward almost 2 months ago now, and I increased it a couple of times because I was frustrated that nobody was taking me up on the offer. Now, my friend at the church, he has a lot of connections. He laughed when I showed him the reward video, and he says I'm going to attract a lot of unwanted attention and all that. And I told him at the time, this was almost 2 months ago now. I told him at the time that you know what, what's even worse than the wrong attention? No attention at all. And so I'm pleased that if it gets things moving. And and I also have more than just half a brain cell. If I'm really getting bad attention, I think I can filter that out, right? That's what I told him. And so he last week he got all excited telling me about he wanted me to meet somebody, and then he said he didn't want the reward. And I had to sneak it to what I had yesterday. I got there a little bit early. He was there early too. He and his wife, and his wife is Asian. So I figured he would accept it if I gave him some of my art, right? So I gave them a bunch of Buddhas, and it was in a large Christmas bag. And at the bottom of the bag, I hid the main reward. If you guys know what it is, I left a note saying that, I can't, out of good karma, not give this to you. Thank you for all of you that I left a note in there. And he took the bag without looking at it. So that's good. Because I really cannot, after all he's done for me, because let's face it, I've lived in Phoenix for going on 3 years now, and I I was just thinking yesterday, after the night had wound down, I was thinking to myself, it's taken me 3 years to make a good friend like this, and the date went pretty well. I mean, it's not out of the park well, but it's somewhere, right? And I'm thinking it takes 3 years to get to that. If it takes another 3 years to make another friend like this, how many friends can I make like this during my lifetime? And then it occurred to me, I really only need one anyway. But the biggest challenge I have to decide for myself right now is whether or not I want to move out of the Phoenix area. Phoenix has a lot of challenges. Aside from the making friends issue, it's huge geographically, and I spent way too much time on the road. Time on the road is kind of like a tax, right? You got 24 hours in the day, and then there are certain countries that will tax a bigger part of it, certain countries that tax a smaller part of it. Here in the Phoenix area, the time tax every day is at least 2 hours, depending on what you do for a living and what you do for recreation. A huge, huge tax burden, right? If I were to move to I'm trying to think of a city that has a very low time tax burden. Probably a big city like New York, right? Especially if you can afford to live in Manhattan. Your time tax burden is probably very low, right? Probably non existent, especially because if you need exercise anyway, right? And you're walking to work, that's not really a tax anymore, right? And so huge time tax burden here in the Phoenix area. But at the same time, after finally making such a good connection, um, I hate to give that up too. So that's a huge decision that I'm going to have to make. Now, there's another decision I have to make. I've noticed ever since I got my hair cut, I've been doing a whole lot better with just connecting with people at the library, at the student union. But I really love the concept of donating my hair. So to donate your hair, you have to save up 12 inches, and it takes at least 2 years. But at the same time, the hair donation is really helping somebody who has cancer, who has whatever. But it's hurting me, and I feel like I'm not getting the good karma out of it. So maybe I'll have to find some other way to give back rather than hair, because I can only give if I'm doing well, right? So maybe it's not the end of the world if I stop donating my hair. Please continue to pray for my art career. This is the Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum.